Okay. It should be starting. Hold on. Let me check real quick. Just it says live, but let me check real quick on my page because I'm like, I'm still new to this.
Yeah, it's better to check on your on your YouTube page
Yeah,
and
it says
make
we're live.
sure.
It says we're live. Hold on. Let me see real quick. It might echo. Yeah,
And
it
make
says we're
sure.
live. Yeah, we're live. Hold on. Okay. Let me see real quick. It might echo. Yeah, it
Make
says we're
sure.
live. All right. Okay. So we're live. All right. Yo, my people. This is Gaming Despair. Joined with some cool people. Karaba, one of my dudes.
Sup?
Guapzilla, the legend.
Guapzilla in the house.
Yeah, and my dude Justin, he's an Xbox guy, but he's cool as fuck. Okay, so let's put it this way: we're gonna cover some topics that are kind of, in some way, it's not somewhat in one way of like that's something that I want to talk about, but it's something we should talk about. So the first topic is Phil Spencer joining Epic and his plan to attack on Apple. Like, what do you guys think about that? Who wants to go first on that?
I will go last.
Uh, I guess I'll go first. I think it's good. I think people going against Apple is good right now, especially Epic. It's something that should have been done a while ago, but I 100% believe that this was a planned attack. I think Microsoft is pissed off at them right now for the whole xCloud thing.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, hold
Especially,
on, Justin. Your mic is like kind of breaks up a little bit.
is that better?
Yeah, you sound fine.
Oh, okay, so I think they're pissed off about the whole xCloud thing, especially since Microsoft gave Apple money in the past just to, stop from going bankrupt. So yeah, I agree and I support it.
Guap.
Okay, I disagree, and here is why. Imagine if you have a shop, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I come to your shop and I say, "Hey, look, here's my goods. Let me know when you
Y'all
sell
can still
them."
hear me?
Yeah, we
Yeah, we
can
can
hear
hear
you.
you now. Yeah.
Cool, cool, cool.
And I don't even, and I go away, and you are selling my stuff, and I'm not paying you a dime. I'm just undercutting you at your own store, and I'm making profit out of you.
Yeah,
Like,
and then I try to embarrass you on TV and drag your name through the streets. It's kind of fucked
like,
up what Epic is doing, man. Like,
no, that, like, get out. Of course, and this is, and here is the thing with X, xCloud too. Like, Microsoft is trying to launch xCloud. Of course, Apple is going to reject that. Apple doesn't want competition. Like, all of this is a standard business practice. And uh, people, of course, companies want to look out for their own fan base and don't want to lose their own fan base. So I totally understand this. And out of for Microsoft and Epic, this was clearly a planned attack. This was not some. This have been planned for, I think, around at least a year, because you need to make a video for that Fortnite video that they made. You need to have that ready. You need to have a court document ready to file for court. This have been planned.
Oh yeah,
I, I believe even Microsoft knew xCloud was going to be rejected.
Twilight
And
Park, everything, just
Epic knew that they were going to be rejected by Apple. So yeah, I'm totally against what Epic and Phil Spencer are doing, and also I'm not even in favor of Apple, but it's just Apple policy. If you don't agree with their policies, and
yeah,
don't do business with them.
it's
You
real
know,
Because here
simple.
is
but you know what? Like,
because
when I think about it, though, what does that exactly mean?
But
Well, if Epic signed the contract with Apple saying they have to pay 30%, which is what they tried to do, they tried to take the price from $9.99 to I believe $6.99 or $7.99. In the discount they were giving was exactly minus the Apple cut. So Epic wasn't doing its customers a favor. They were just cutting Apple out of the share on their own platform. And they already
exactly.
signed a contract. That's illegal. Like that's breach of contract. This is just business 101. It's not very complicated. Like, let's say they did that and they cut 15% of their profit and 15% of Apple's profit, then that would make more sense. And then we can talk. But if you're just going to give a 30% discount out of my pocket and not pay me my share, like, you must be out of your mind. You're crazy.
No, I get
And
what you're saying, Wow.
yeah.
Like for me personally, I'm not caught into the politics. You know, I just primarily just play games and stuff like that. So like it's great
But
insight that you guys are giving me this information.
but you need
Yeah,
to
it's
see
literally
it from
illegal.
the,
You can't do that. Like,
yeah, but not only that, you need to see it from the bigger picture, and this is why I really hope that Apple wins and Epic and Microsoft both lose it, because
Oh shit!
if they win, then there is no more rules of law. Then any company can do what they please and
well,
get
there's no way
that.
they can win. You can't just walk in my store, sell your
I
product,
mean,
and tell me to go fuck myself. Like, you're wilding.
it,
Like
it,
that's not gonna happen.
it's all about mind my
Mind
also
share.
not mind share not mind control, but rather how you perceive a thing is versus how a thing actually is.
You
If
know,
you
and
play, yeah,
it's crazy because for like over a month now, I don't know if you guys follow Tim Sweeney, but he's been talking shit about Apple like continuously, and a lot of the stuff he's been saying I agree with, because they do implore a lot of anti-consumer practices, especially for smaller devs. They cap the amount of money they can make in their reach and put the focus on their products more. But this is completely ridiculous. Like this is completely baseless. You can't sell your product on my platform and give the customer a discount on my behalf without my consent. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
that's insane. That's craziness. Now they can sell it elsewhere and they can go to Android or PC or whatever and get it discounted if you want to provide it there. But you have to consult with me first if we have a contractual obligation already. You know what I mean?
Yeah, basically, it's kind of like you have your own business and stuff like that, and you're working with other people and stuff like that. You know, they can't just secretly enforce something on you. You know,
Yeah. Imagine you were delivering bread, right? And you delivered a whole week's worth of bread. You go to collect your money, and it was like, "Oh, you didn't get the update. We cut you out of the loop." Like, and you're like, "Wait a minute, I already delivered the bread, though. Like, where's my cut?" You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not how life works. Not at all. And I think this just kind of fell in Microsoft's lap. I don't think it was intentional, because Microsoft hasn't shown me the consistent ability to like plan things out into future and have them like work in their favor. I kind of think Apple, we should have saw it coming, because even with xCloud on Apple devices, you could only play Halo Master Chief Collection. You couldn't play anything else. Whereas on Android, you could play the whole selection of games. So we should have known Apple was going to shut the door on that. Like, I don't know why people that covered xCloud haven't spoken on it previously, but it is what it is. But it just kind of fell in Microsoft's lap. They might want to talk to Epic now about like uniting against Apple, but Apple just announced they made $2 trillion. Nobody can touch them, if you're asking me my honest opinion.
Ah, shit. Justin, what do you got to say about that?
Not much really. I kind of agreed with it. Everything he was saying. It is kind of bullshit what they did. I think
There's like 1,000 more ways you could have went about this.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
The way
because they made so much money. At the beginning, before Fortnite came out, Epic was worth $800 million. Now they're worth over $17 billion. They've made so much money, like both ways, both Apple and Epic over this time. Like, there's better ways to handle this.
Yeah, I think the way they initiate it was bad, but I think in the long run it'll be good for indie devs.
Yeah, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
All right. Do you guys want to keep covering this topic, or do you guys want to switch it up?
No, we said our piece. We can move on. What's your take on it?
Me personally,
Yeah.
like I said before, I don't cover the politics. I just play games. That's it. So I'm just listening to everybody else's feedback because that's not my department. For me, my department is pretty much primarily games. So
Do you play Fortnite?
No, I don't play Fortnite.
My son plays Fortnite. He's a beast, man. I spent so much money on that game for him. So if I could get a discount on V-Bucks, I'd be the first motherfucker in line.
Hell
But
yeah.
I could see why the company that's getting cut out of their 30% would be like, fuck that. Like,
Hold on.
what kind of sucker you take me for?
Hold
You
on,
know what I mean?
Give me a sec. You know what? I didn't do a proper introduction, and I should do that right now. Before we get into the other topics. Okay, so Karaba, what are you playing recently? What are you playing now?
I we're going to talk about that. I am playing Battletoad or
Battletoads!
yeah. Hey. Let me explain why.
Play it. You don't
Because
have to explain yourself.
no, I actually do because I didn't like the game, and in order to be able to talk
Omar,
why I didn't like it, I need to finish it.
Yeah, but Omar, don't bash on it. I mean, if you want to, go ahead. I'll give you a chance.
I'm not
Go ahead.
going to. I'm
I'll
not
make
going to bash on it. I'm going to call to say what's the negative and positive about it.
He's gonna give you an honest critique, man. You know,
Yeah.
Omar, that man spits it straight.
I fuck it, Omar. Just do it, man.
First off, when you're fighting, you can do combos, but the problem is when you do a combo, it locks you in an animation that takes around 2, 4, 5 seconds. But during that animation time, enemies can still hit you, and if they do that, then they kill your combo and they deal damage to you. So that's by itself something that should be fixed and shouldn't be a thing. Other
So
thing,
is that a combat critique? You're saying the feel of the game isn't consistent throughout? Like,
no. The thing is, they worked on they worked on 3 different animations, yeah, for each character. Each character have 3 animate, not 3, 1 unique animation that can be done that is powerful attack. But the issue is when you do that, you it's almost as if you're opening your door for a robber to come rob me. Like you are allowing them to hit you. You
so
can't.
you can't cancel the
You
animations
can.
if you
You
like.
can cancel it, but then what's the point of doing it in the first place?
You gotta
Yeah.
make sure you're safe when you're doing it.
Omar, did
Because
you play Streets of Rage 4?
Yeah, I was just about to ask.
I actually downloaded that game and played it just so I can see uh, why people were saying that this was better than Street of Rage 4.
Oh, Streets of
And
Rage 4 is a Game of the Year contender. I mean,
Streets of Rage 4 is better than Battletoads. I
so
love
the
it.
I
thing
mean,
is,
I can't speak to Battletoads. I haven't played it. I don't have an
I've
Xbox.
barely played it.
I played Street
I
of Rage.
personally haven't played it either, so I can't make a judgment on it.
I actually died at Nora, the lady with the
The
whip.
cop?
Yeah.
No, the cup I defeated. I died after the cup. I enjoyed what I played, but
I'm
I
like
really
3 trophies away from a platinum on
Oh,
Streets
well,
of Rage 4.
I really
That's a top
wish
10 game this year.
well,
I really wish, but the thing with Street of Rage 4, I really wish that they didn't they didn't put special attacks behind losing health. I really wish they would have given you a mana bar instead of a health.
Well, there's two different special attacks, man.
Yeah,
What you're
I
talking
know.
about is like the overdrive attacks. Those are
Yeah,
meant for when you're like when
Yeah,
you're screwed. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So you got to
I don't actually
overexert
know.
yourself. But your forward X attack usually can get you out of every situation. That's why Streets of Rage is so beautiful because of the gameplay. Like,
Yep.
but
Even if
gameplay
you,
wise, you can gameplay wise, Street of Rage 4 destroys Battletoad for one reason. Street of Rage 4 doesn't have any single freaking mini game. I'm so done with mini and Battletoad.
it has bad
This
mini
is the
games, huh?
issue with Battletoad. This is not Battletoad. It is mini games at Toad. There is, I mean, imagine this. So, have you ever guys played any game that relies on puzzle solving? Like,
Yeah,
think,
plenty, man. I love games with intellectual slant to them. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
but then that's something you choose to play, right?
I mean,
Like,
Yeah, yeah, of course, of course. Like
yeah,
Resident Evil, old school Resident Evil had
hell
action
yeah.
and puzzles, beautiful blended together. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
but
I
with this
mean,
one, it
like
doesn't.
me
This
personally.
one,
Well, Omar, hold on, give me one second. Yeah, I know Guapzilla. Guapzilla, he plays a lot of games like we all do. I play a lot of puzzle games in my life, and he's right. Resident Evil, like the original ones, they did have a lot of puzzles and all that survival horror shit. So I get that. But what's your main concern with Battletoads?
my issue with Battletoad is the mini games are just there to for padding the game. The game is actually 3.5 hours around that. If you're good, you can beat it at such level, at such time frame. But the game is actually way, way, way shorter because all it is mini games. It's not a beat 'em up. That's the thing. You can't actually compare it with Street of Rage 4 because it's not a beat 'em up. You're fighting for a little bit, but for the most part, you're actually solving puzzles.
Yeah, that's what
Which
Battletoads has always been about.
Nah, the other, I mean, my favorite Battletoads game was Battletoads and Double Dragons.
Yeah,
I
that's
wish they would remake that game. It's amazing.
I
Um,
actually never played Battletoad before. This is my first game.
Battletoads and Double Dragon is like one of the all-time greatest beat 'em up games. But
yeah, it's
my
really
main concern with this modern game is the fun factor. It just doesn't seem like the gameplay itself is compelling enough. And coupled with half of the game being like a cartoon slash like puzzler or mini game fest, that's
So
my
the
concerns
thing,
with it. Plus, it's competing with Streets of Rage 4, and that game is
yeah,
so full of content. Like,
yeah.
unlocking all the characters and stuff, and the soundtracks and all that stuff in that game is amazing.
so the thing with Battletoad is it is funny as heck. The humor is there. Like if this was a cartoon, I would watch it. And I'm not the only one. I've seen many people that say the same thing. If this game was a cartoon, we would all watch it and enjoy it as a cartoon. But for as a game, you're dragging yourself through the mud. Actually, what it feels like you just had a combat. You're like nice. I'm a nice rhythm, and then out of sudden you need to solve a puzzle. You solve that puzzle, and after 2 seconds, I swear to you, 2 seconds after you move forward, the same puzzle but slightly difficult. Why more difficult? It's like clearly the developers had no other idea or planning or anything like that, and I just were like, okay, let me put a puzzle out here and fill that game with puzzles, and more puzzles.
Wait, hold on, hold on. Hey, Omar, I'm not trying to bash on you. Battletoads and stuff like that.
How did I batch it when I even gave it props?
Oh, okay. But what I'm trying to say is that, You know what? Let's just end it right there. But I want to give an
I
introduction.
just say one last thing. The worst level is the Jeff level, where where you need to go. You're like on a person sliding. The person can change turn to three different elements: fire, ice, and let's call the last one is yellow. I don't know. Um, orange juice. I don't know. I named something. Okay. What happened is in the level there is one section of the game that is I tried it so many times that I legit believe the developer couldn't figure out a solution for their own fuck up, so they created a different path you can take. Because other than that, you can't finish the level. What happened is you jump, and when you jump, you press a square on your plate. I play with my PlayStation controller, so a square. I mean triangle. When you press triangle, you turn into the yellow element. And if you press triangle and you jump and you land on the platform while you're yellow, you can ride it. If not, you go through it and you fall to your death.
Yeah.
And
So you
no
gotta color
matter,
coordinate it.
sorry,
Hold
So you gotta color coordinate it.
on.
it's indeed it's color coordinated, but it's something that you need to do on the fly. It's not something you can plan ahead and do it while taking your time. No, this is literally second after second after second. You don't do that well, you die. And what
Hold on.
happened is no matter how many times I press correct on yellow, I always end up falling through the yellow. So what I think the developers then did is they created an underpass that is make use of ice. You use the ice road
I'm
so
back.
you can continue. Otherwise, you will never be able to continue.
Hold on, Omar. I just wanted to give an introduction, and you went all in on Battletoads.
Sorry.
I had
He gave us a full review.
I had something to say,
I was like, God damn! I was like, man,
Okay,
Omar
fine. I will
I
take
had,
an L. I will take an L. Move on.
No, you didn't. No, you
There's no L needed to be taken.
yeah.
but I had
Sorry,
something
dude.
to say against your mistake.
Man, Omar, you went ham on that shit.
Sorry
Anyways,
about that.
Guapzilla, man, my dude.
What's up?
Fucking, what you been playing, man? And what's your recent achievement?
So, I got that Fall Guys straight into my veins every day. You feel me?
Bro,
I don't know why, but I love it, and I can't get over it.
It's
So I
so
got to
good.
put up a couple shots in that game at least a couple times.
How
But
many
right
times
now,
did you won?
I think I have seven victories, 7 crowns.
I have
Nice.
0.
Wait, which game?
0. Fall Guys, man. Fall
Oh,
Guys.
Fall
You can get
Guys.
that work
And
right
Fall
now,
Guys,
any
Fall
day
Guys.
of the week, 24/7.
Holy
You
shit.
know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm okay at that game. But it's really I always lose in the last round, which
Same.
sucks.
Dude,
That
I
shit
haven't
is
gotten
painful.
that run.
I've
There's
gotten
nothing
second
like
place
it.
so much. It's
My
ridiculous.
feelings be hurt. Like I have to log off after I take the L. You know.
I've been
But other
taking
than
the L
that, like
every
I'm hardcore on Ghost of Tsushima, man. I'm aiming for that plat, but it's just such a
Nice.
beautiful game, man. I just like stopping taking the breeze too much,
I
you
got
know.
the plat. It's
God.
such
But
an
I'm definitely
amazing
gonna
game.
platinum it. I'm definitely gonna platinum Ghost before the multiplayer drops. But other than that, man, I'm just out here. Sony needs to hurry up with this PS5. Like, what are they doing?
All right, so let's switch it up to Justin. My dude, my Xbox guy. Just barely met him, but what are you playing, man, recently, and what are you planning on playing next?
Well, I just bought the Aftermath DLC for MK11.
Oh, okay.
I've been having some fun with that, but I've been really into Rogue Company lately.
Is that free to play?
Not yet. It's in like paid early access, but I guess it's gonna go free to play.
So I'm like conflicted. Should I buy it or wait?
No, I bought it and it's so fucking fun. I've just been
Mm.
pouring countless hours into it. But
Wait, hold on. Before you go, is that first person shooter or what kind of game is that?
it's like a third person shooter. It's
Uh-huh.
similar to like CS:GO, but it's like character based and each character has their own unique abilities to them and stuff like that.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, but I
Oh.
also bought Ghost of Tsushima and I'm still on the first island.
Me
Gotcha.
too.
I've barely been playing that game, man. I've been so addicted to Rogue Company.
Hold on, if I could give a quick shout out, I'm Jared. Hey, what's up, man? King Julian, thanks for joining in. Thanks for just tuning in for a little bit for our fuckery and shit like that.
What's
chilling
up,
out.
fellas? What's going on?
All right, sorry, Justin. Go ahead, man. Keep going.
That was it. Just
That was it. Okay.
I'm playing 3 games right now.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, oh fuck. See, the thing is, the next topic we're gonna talk about was Flight Simulator and Battletoads, but Omar already pretty much killed it. So-
Sorry about that.
I got something
Shit,
to
hop
say.
on the flight simulator.
So what do you-
Okay. All I can say about Flight Simulator is it's a sleeping fest for me.
Does it work?
I never tried it because my laptop would explode.
Oh, see, that's my biggest problem with it is that it doesn't work.
Why?
So
By the way, give me 1 sec. I'll be right back. All right. And then you guys just keep going on.
Why doesn't not work? Why doesn't it work?
His computer will explode.
What?
Your PC can't handle it?
Explode or wait?
My PC can run it at like the lowest minimum setting. Like
Wait, hold on. He said his shit would explode. Hey, Guap, did your PC explode right now or what? Just by talking about it?
He left. No, all of a sudden, I don't know what happened.
He keeps getting disconnected for some reason.
Yeah, this is the second time it happened for them.
Hold on. I'll wait before.
I give the platform to Justin before he come back.
about Flight Sim.
Yeah, what's your
mean,
take on it?
To be honest, hold on. Before Justin goes, I want to say that I think it's a cool idea. Flight Simulator has been around for a long time, and I don't think it's a bad game. It's just it's not.
it's just not really a game.
Yeah, it's not only that. It's
Oh, wow, back.
Specific audience, you know.
Wait,
I
hold
think it's the
it have a niche audience.
Yeah,
I think it's the best game, if you want to call it a game, in its genre. Therefore, it does deserve a high score. And technologically, it's like that's truly next gen. When I see that, I start to think of what GTA 6 can be. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm like a hardcore GTA Online player. So like I start to just think about the technology behind it, and I'm like, yo, if Rockstar gets their hands or someone like that gets their hands on an approximation of that type of tech, the shit they'll be able to do is going to be insane. Like Asobo
Yeah.
Studios is kind of getting their feet wet and doing, but they're not a AAA dev. Like, and look what they could pull off with that technology. You know what I mean? So that's how I look at it.
All right, hold on. I'll be right back, man. Give me 1 sec, and you guys could keep talking about this topic real quick.
No problem.
All right, but like I said before, we don't need to talk about Battletoads because pretty much.
Yeah, we
Sorry
already
about
went in
that.
on Battletoads.
All right, hold on. I'll be right back.
I think
So Justin, you got Flight Sim running on your setup.
it can run at like low settings, but I haven't like played it yet.
So you can get it what 30 frames, 6. Like, what is the minimum spec
Like-
requirement on that for the like CPU and the GPU?
'Cause I'm about to look. Honestly,
Yeah, that's the information we need because it's ridiculously high. If it's over like a 1060
yeah.
to run it at like 1080p 60 frames. But from
Probably
the
get it
videos
run-
I've seen with like Digital Foundry and stuff, they're running it on like a 1080 Ti and stuff. Like we're talking thousands of dollars of desktop technology there.
I could probably get it running at like 30 FPS, maybe, if I wanted.
Well, it's definitely not going to be able to come out on the Xbox One, which
Oh, no.
sucks.
Yeah, I know. It's
no.
cancelled. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
they're going to cancel that version.
Which should tell you just how ambitious it is on the PC side right off bat. You know.
It's pretty optimized for PC. The minimum is an Intel i5 or a Ryzen 3 1200.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
NVIDIA GTX 770 and a Radeon RX 570.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
have an RX 580
Oh yeah.
and I have a i5 8400. So
That's
I
what's up,
could
man.
run it. I could run it at low to medium settings.
Yeah, because when you see all the reviews in the video, it's all at like ultra settings, 60 frames, 1440p, and they got like the cockpit set up with the. And I'm like, yeah, how much do I got to play to fly this fake plane?
I just got a few things about this game. A few gripes and a few like, because I grew up wanting to be a fighter pilot, so this type of shit's catered to me, right?
Yeah.
Like I see this shit as like the racing genre, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's catered for the pilots, but I have an issue with those bundles, man. The $120 and the $90 bundles.
Yeah, I don't know why a lot of reviews didn't delve into that more. That's
Did you see like if you
Yeah, I
pay
was about to ask you.
$100, how like
What?
you get more detail and texture and
Yeah,
like they add,
that's fucked.
they add more like more assets to the textures. Like there are more planes off to the side. There's
do
like
you agree with that?
stuff. It's kind of bullshit.
Do you
It's
agree with
completely
that?
bullshit.
Hell yeah.
Here's my problem with that: is why can't I just buy the game? Like what? It's not like the game has like modes or objectives. You just fly. Like
Yeah.
you paywall just flying, motherfucker. Like, like what?
They added like if you buy the $120 version, I think you get like 20 more planes and like better looking handcrafted airports and stuff.
Yeah, that's crazy. Because
Yeah, it's crazy to me.
yeah, that's specifically the type of stuff that is getting more and more popular because of Game Pass.
Yeah.
It's like a Trojan horse, you know what I mean? They're like, oh, you got it on Game Pass, just pay this to upgrade. And you're like, nah, like I want what I paid for, especially with how their release schedule is looking with 2 years before they have any AAA first party exclusives coming to Game Pass. That's insane.
I think you got
And now
Halo
you're
next year
paywalling
and
content? Yeah.
then- yeah.
All right. Okay. So let's
Yeah.
cover this.
I will say this. I don't mind that it exists, but I hate it fuckery with pay for more graphical fidelity and so
Yeah,
on.
that's complete
The-
nonsense. And not to mention, people are gonna mod the game for free. So what the fuck? So now you're in competition with people adding free mods that are gonna be better because they're trying to like popularize themselves, and it's that's just gonna lead to piracy and stuff. Like that's why it's so stupid.
people
It's
people would
kinda like-
legit defend this because to them it's what's called it's a niche audience, so it's okay for them to do so. Apparently, this have been a thing for Flight Simulator for the longest. That they did this.
I know X-Plane. X-Plane is it's another flight simulator. They do the same shit.
So it's almost like Star Citizen with modules and stuff.
Yeah. I don't know if it's that far,
Yeah,
but
I don't have a gaming PC myself. That's why I ask. It's something I'm looking into investing in within the next year or so. But I'm not sure if like an Xbox Series S or X would be a better deal. So that's kind of like that's where I'm at in the market. I was really looking forward to the Halo Infinite reveal, and then they found a way to fuck that up. But I'm still probably gonna buy like if a Series S exists, I'll probably buy that in PS5 day one.
I
it
mean,
definitely exists.
go ahead, Justin. Go ahead, Justin.
It 1000% exists at this point.
Yeah, but is it gonna launch the same day as the Series X? And what is
Nah,
the
I don't-
price?
I don't know about that.
Yeah, because if it's like the Series S is 400 and the Series X is 500, I'll buy the Series S. I mean X. Excuse me, this shit's so confusing. But if the
Yeah,
Series X is 600, then I'm buying the Series S at 4. But if it's
I'm
only
pretty
$100
sure.
difference, it doesn't make that much of a difference to me.
I
I'll
was
buy the more
reading
expensive one.
$100 to $150 difference. So like if the Series X would be $499, then the S would be like $349.
That
I
would
have the
kill them.
feeling.
340. I think 299 is too low. 349 is perfect.
I have the feeling Series X will be 500
Oh
or
yeah, I think both are
600,
gonna be
maybe
It better
600.
be. If it's 599 with no games, like they're fucking crazy.
I think
Excuse
I
my
honestly
language.
believe they're waiting for Sony to reveal the price so they can say our console is going to be the same price, but if you can't afford it, here's the Series X console for $150 cheaper. I think
You
that's
know,
what they're waiting to do.
the only thing that I'm personally concerned about is the architecture of both consoles, because I was talking to an engineer not too long ago, and here's the thing: I'm not trying to blow smoke out of my ass and then tell you guys any false information, but basically the dude was telling me that the PlayStation 5, because we're on this topic right now, that the games were actually going to be able to be created faster than it is on current gen or even on Xbox because of the architecture due to alone. That's why so many PS5 games are being pumped out for launch day.
Yeah, Mark Cerny confirmed that when he did the PS5 deep dive. He
And he
said
even
that.
confirmed that it's going to be way less big.
Yeah, Mark Cerny confirmed that the entire purpose of the PS5 architecture design was to cut the time to triangle, which is basically, I don't know if you guys ever studied computer science or programming or anything.
somewhat.
Yeah, but
Nope.
the time to triangle is the time it takes to go from concept for a game to actually be having a playable build or having the visuals on screen. You know what I mean? With the PS3 had the longest time to triangle. The goal of the PS5 was to have the shortest. You know what I mean? Which I went to college for computer science a long time ago. So when I hear stuff like that, I'm like, holy shit! Like, if you really care about crunch, the PS5 is designed to like attack that whole culture. You know what I mean, and change it from that perspective. The
And
Series
it's like,
X is almost like more of the same, but just with more power, which is
I mean,
great. You know?
yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I look at the Xbox more like, pretty much like a PC. But the thing is that when I look at the PS5, I look at it more as like evolutionary, different. It literally stands on its own. And the engineers that I talked to, they were saying that the games that are going to be built on the PS5 are not going to be able to pretty much run on PC or Xbox and stuff like that until like this new technology actually comes out. So I mean, it's man, dude, I'm hyped for next gen, man. Honestly, I just want
Yeah,
to see.
they need to just show us. My thing is with the PS5, we should know about the backwards compatibility, the price, and the release date at this point. I understand if you don't want to show games that are over a year away, but at
I'm
least show me
curious.
like the operating system and like
Yeah.
but I understand also why they're hiding the backwards compatibility because it would screw
Why?
with the sales of like it would screw up the sales of The Last of Us 2 and Ghost of Tsushima if you've seen it running way better on PS5. You'd think, oh, I'll just wait because when the PS5 comes out, it's gonna be $30 anyway. You know what I mean? Whereas
Yeah,
now these games are breaking sales records. Sony can't step on their own tail, so to speak. So it does make sense. But as a consumer, I'm impatient as fuck, and I don't want to hear that bullshit because I'm not getting any of those profits. So they need to reveal it already.
I heard a
Right.
pretty good comparison about that the other day. Or a good analogy about these two consoles and what they've revealed so far.
And what was that?
This dude said that basically if they were both strippers, right, the Xbox would be naked and the PS5 would be fully clothed with a winter jacket.
Damn.
Can you repeat
Really?
that? Can you repeat that?
And I was like, what?
But we haven't seen any game. We've seen 0 seconds of Series X gameplay.
Justin, can you
I
repeat?
think it would be the opposite, right? Like,
Oh no, I don't think it was
Justin,
talking about about like gameplay. I thought he was talking about like how like transparent and open they are about like showing.
Justin, can you repeat what you said before?
Hold on, one sec. The only thing that concerns me when it came to the Xbox presentation, the only thing that concerns is the fact that most of these games were nothing more than CGI trailer. So
That too, yeah, I
if
agree.
it is CGI trailer, how long is it until these games coming out? And the thing is
It's
that
either and not only that, it's a CGI trailer running off a PC. It's like, what?
Exactly.
What do you mean? Like, we launch in 8 weeks. The
Yeah,
fuck is going on here?
yeah, that's the only thing that
It makes
concerns
you
me.
question what's happening.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
It really
Go ahead,
does.
Emma.
'Cause
honestly, gotta.
Oh, go ahead, Justin. Go ahead.
I think the console should be pushed back next year. That's just me. Both of them.
Yeah, I have the feeling too. Even PlayStation.
I feel
I
like
think PS5 is okay, and they're gonna run mainly off what their system can do with backwards compatibility with Final Fantasy VII, The Last of Us 2, Ghost of Tsushima, and things like that. So I think they're coming in no matter what to launch. I don't if Xbox comes out at $5.99, man, I'm really worried about that whole division because that just says that they're really tone deaf. They're not listening.
If Xbox comes on $5.99, it's dead on arrival because they don't have any third party whatsoever.
I don't think
Yeah.
they'll do it. They've done it before and it failed. Sony's done it before and it's failed. They $5.99 is where consoles go to die. I've always said it.
I mean, $5.99 is a big price, man. But like Omar was saying, if you don't have any first party content, that it kind of defeats the purpose and stuff like that. I mean, you're just buying a console with power, but at the same time, the thing that I dislike is that most people say, well, it's the most powerful console. Obviously, the Xbox. That's what they say. But the thing is, you can get those same games on the PlayStation. So isn't that a bigger bargain? Getting a PlayStation, or am I just cooning too much?
I think it's like I think it's all about preference at the end of the day.
Yeah, definitely.
The Series S or the Series S, the Xbox One S right now is cheap as shit. I think right now at Best Buy it's like $199.
God damn. Yeah, it's pretty cheap.
That's the shit that entices consumers and stuff. I think the base PS4 is what right now? It might be the same price. Honestly.
No, actually, you're probably right. All right, let's switch up the topics. All right. Okay, so I want to get you guys' thoughts on Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad's trailer. Well, obviously, Suicide Squad trailer didn't have an actual gameplay, but it just had like pretty much CGI.
Which was a colossal waste of our time.
Yeah.
They showed gameplay.
No, Gotham Knight.
No, he
was
said
good.
the Suicide Squad game.
Suicide
But we're talking about Suicide.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think it looked. I think those 4 minutes that they showed gave that team more personality and charm than the 2-hour movie.
Hey, you know what? And I kind of agree with you. I actually like the trailer, the CGI trailer that had for the game. So I never actually watched the movies, but I'm willing to give this game a chance.
So I'm biased because I've been watching CGI trailers since 1995. So I'm just over it. You know what I mean? I'm like, no, I don't ever want to see a CGI trailer ever again for a video game. I don't mind it for other stuff.
I got you.
Yeah, they dropped the ball with the CGI. Like you hype it up and then you show CGI, not even gameplay. Like no.
That could have been a commercial at the Super Bowl or something, like a surprise. Like, hey, look, we're actually making this game that we know you guys been reading rumors about for years now. Instead, they confirmed something we already knew and didn't educate us on anything. I think it being in Metropolis was a surprise. I assumed it would be in Gotham. That's one thing I learned about it. But outside of that, I'm like, what? They're like, Rocksteady is
gonna be the main
Rocksteady's a tier 1 developer. Like, they have a playable version of this game up and running right now. Just show it at its best. I don't really know what to say.
I don't know. What is it? 2 years away now?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they should have at least showed a little snippet. But
They really dropped the ball.
what I took from the trailer was that it looks. I don't know if you guys played Sunset Overdrive, but holy shit, that's the vibe I was getting when I was watching that.
Yeah, it's literally Sunset Overdrive with the Suicide Squad in it,
Yeah,
And
that's what I
gone.
was
Yeah.
thinking. That's
which
what
is
I was
weird.
the entire time. I was like, yo, are they gonna be riding on like telephone wires? Like
Well, it seemed like mobility was, which is my
yeah.
problem with the Avengers game, is that they don't really capitalize on the superheroes' mobility. So I hope that's one thing the Suicide Squad game does. Let's
So
not get it twisted. The best thing about Spider-Man on PS4 is the web slinging. Like that's why you can just play that game because the
yeah,
traversal is fun. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
the Avengers
So
game misses that, and this game looks
I
like it wants to capitalize on it.
I actually played the Avengers demo, open beta, and closed beta. My thing with Avenger is indeed I played as every character, and I found Iron Man played the best. And why? Because he was able to fly, and by being able to fly, you're way faster at traveling distances.
Omar, I have a
Because
question for you.
yeah,
You played Spider-Man PS4?
yeah, I
Isn't
platinum.
Spider-Man web slinging 10 times faster than Iron Man was flying? Isn't that bullshit?
Of course, but when you play as the characters that can't even fly, like the Avengers, then you would appreciate somebody like Iron Man that can fly.
Yeah, but
Like,
I'm just saying the overall
yeah,
feel of the
no,
game.
oh
Your
no,
powers
no,
don't feel
then
like that excitement like in the Spider-Man game,
yeah,
and that's
no,
kind of with this game why I'm like my
Marvel
expectations are
Spider-Man,
low.
Marvel Spider-Man blows Avengers out of the water. It's not even funny.
So do you think that the Suicide Squad game is somewhere between the two, or do you think it's going to be more like Avengers? And this is why I'm ragging on them for dropping a CGI trailer
Yeah,
because they could have just told us flat out like, here's how you
I
four get around the city, or is it
I
a closed
think it's going
environment?
to be like Avengers.
Wait, hold on one sec, because the thing is that we haven't seen gameplay for Suicide Squad, so we can't be too judgmental about it.
Yeah, but we actually can, because when they put out something like that, they are allowing themselves for criticism.
But the thing is, Omar, it's CGI, so we really don't know what the gameplay is. But I understand what Guapzilla is saying. So I mean, whatever, take it. I mean,
you're definitely.
So
gonna
do you think it's going to be more Spider-Man as far as the traversal, or more Avengers? Because I think it's going to be more Spider-Man. I think they're going to capitalize on. Yeah, because think of Arkham Knight and how fun it is to get around that open environment with the Batmobile. You're like swooping down. You press one button, you're like right into the fucking cockpit, and you're taking off. And from the seat, you can jump out and fly away. Like they know what they're doing.
Yeah,
they should have showed it though. Like they really should have showed it.
They really shouldn't have showed it like that. They should have at least gave you a snippet of gameplay. This is why I'm so glad that Gotham Knight showed gameplay.
I also think that they didn't want to step on Gotham Knight's toes because Rocksteady's a superior developer. They would want to be like, oh, right after you watch that, hey, watch out, way cooler shit. And people are going to be like, I ain't pre-ordering that other nonsense. Like, so that's most likely why they didn't show actual gameplay, because it's going to just be so superior.
Later than the other one, right?
Yeah, Gotham Knights, I think, is coming out next year.
Yeah,
and the other one
they're a year
comes out
apart.
the year after.
It's closer to coming out, so it might be, more stable. Like, Suicide Squad might not be stable yet to play. Like, it could be playable, just barely.
Maybe. So. Remember when I said that? Oh no, we didn't even cover it yet. I think this could be a case of Halo Infinite, like the game that they had. It was not running well, and they opted not to show it. Maybe, you never know. Then
I think Rocksteady is like a really good developer, and
I'm just talking that they didn't have a good playable demo. Maybe that's why they didn't showcase gameplay.
Rocksteady's they've consistently put out top quality, great games. So
Yeah.
Yeah, their games aren't what I would call buggy. Those shits are rock solid.
yeah. So
I think this
the benefit of the doubt.
it,
they're
yeah, it
really a
is
rock
it is it is 2 years away from launch. But if you're a competent developer, 2 years away from launch, your game is playable from start to finish, and all you're doing is finalizing the game loop and balancing issues and bug squashing. You're not still like designing the story or the gameplay loop and things like that. Like 2 years
But
out
we
from
don't
launch
know how
is a
far
lot
is the
closer than
game.
you think. Yeah. But think about it. Arkham Knight came out in what, 2013, 2014? So
But
Yeah.
they've been working for
Corona
over half a
happened.
decade.
Corona happened, and developers wanted to take a break.
But there was also those Superman rumors that they were making a Superman game. I read that they were, but it got scrapped, and they started working.
Heard
on
about that too.
That's why
Wow.
that's why they haven't had a game in like 7 years, 6 years. I would have personally rather seen a Superman game because the way he looked in that Suicide Squad game, I was like, yes, I want to play him. Let me fly around in the helicopter and shit. I don't know.
Yeah,
Hell
definitely.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just want to cover up the last topic. Halo Infinite getting delayed.
But wait, we didn't talk about Gotham Knight.
Gotham Knights. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, Gotham Knights. Okay, so let me put some input on it. To be honest with you, when I saw it, it looked like primarily a co-op game. Probably 4 people that you can play with the game.
Apparently the game is co-op. You can play it from start to finish co-op or alone.
You know what the most interesting thing I learned about that game is?
Mhm.
That there's 4 storylines. So you
Yeah.
can play the single player with each character 4 times through, and you can have a friend, only one friend, hop in and just help you out, but they're not there for the story. They're just there to level up and get loot and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's still that storyline for that character. So that really intrigued me because I didn't want them to gimp the story because it was multiplayer. So them choosing to tell 4 different storylines with the 4 different characters, so you can still play it as a single player game with 4 separate single player stories, makes it worth it for me. That was really dope. That means the story's worth telling.
Seems like
It kind of reminds me of like Dead Space 3, because Dead Space 3 as well, like if you were doing online co-op, you can see the experience from the other player, but the main character, like Isaac, wouldn't see what you were going through, in their play screen and shit like that. So I could see what you're trying to say. So like there's separate things going on.
Yeah, like you still have to play as and beat the game with each. From what I understand, they said there's 4 separate storylines, so that means if you chose not to play co-op, you would still get 4 solid single player experiences
Nice.
with those 4 different players.
So,
It's not
is
like
anyone-
Avengers where it's like just get to the multiplayer part and then level the guy up. It's like no, everyone has like a single player
Nice.
story,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
a friend can help you out, which is
Is
cool.
anyone of you is afraid of monetization,
Wait,
loot
hold on,
boxes, microtransactions?
Hold on, Omar. Hold on to that thought. Let Justin go because he was gonna talk. So I'm let him give his thoughts.
this game's giving me a big Destiny vibe from what I've seen, honestly.
More
think-
than Suicide Squad.
Yeah, more than Suicide Squad, because the gameplay, seeing the levels above the enemy's head, seeing the damage numbers, seeing, driving around the world and your friend just hops in and starts driving with you. It's just, that stuff is just, it reminds me of the way Destiny was shown, honestly.
Is that a bad thing or a good thing?
I don't know. I like Destiny, so it is a good thing for me. Looks fun. It looks like something me and my brother will play.
Hmm.
Oh,
Did you see how many people on Twitter were against the idea of a Batman game without Batman?
Yeah,
It's
there's more to Batman's universe than just Batman. This.
it's like we're pretty sure are 1000% sure Batman is not dead. they're not going to kill Batman. He's going to be alive with that court of owl or whatsoever. Or even he could be that creature that they showed at the very end of the trailer.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I
don't.
haven't read the Court of Owls story, but a lot of people know how it
Me too.
progresses. There's no way they killed Batman, but is he going to be playable in the game? I don't know
Probably.
if you guys noticed, but the combat didn't seem like it's like the Arkham Knight combat.
Yeah,
It,
there's a good chance that you know what. There's a good chance that we might not be able to play as Batman, but Batman might still be around. Who knows? I don't think
I
they'll.
feel like Batman's going to be endgame content. Like you beat it with all four characters, then boom, you get the fifth story. You know what I mean? Like something like that. But
Could be.
yeah,
Or,
it could
or
be
he could
DLC.
be PS5 exclusive,
Yeah.
PS4
because
exclusive.
if not, when's the next time do we play a PS5 Batman game?
I'm joking, don't crucify me. I saw that on Twitter. It's like
I
Spider-Man
saw that
on
too.
the PS4 and Batman on the PS4. Ouch.
Like, they were like Batman exclusive to the PS5 version of the game. It was funny.
That was legit funny.
Nail in the coffin.
All right, I think that's enough for that. And then the thing that I want to talk about is Halo Infinite being delayed to supposedly the rumor is 2022. For me personally, I don't mind it. It doesn't bother me. The only reason it doesn't bother me is just because of the fact that if they need to work on it, I mean, fine, go ahead, do it, but make it an Xbox Series X game and use all the architecture that you can use from that system. Because the thing is, dude, like seriously, like Craig is like the biggest meme right now when it comes
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
on Twitter, and it's
Despair, do you understand why they can't do that?
I'm not sure to be honest with you, but like, hold on, let me get my opinion out there first.
Yeah, no problem.
So the thing is that you know what? The thing is, the problem is they might have to cancel the game for the Xbox Series X. I mean Xbox One, and take it off the market, and then eventually put it on the Xbox Series X. That's why 2020 was being mentioned, and it kind of makes sense because it's two different architectures because you have to build it around the SSD, and so I'm trying to figure out if it's a good move on Microsoft's part because like of all the calming that's been going on, or was it a bad idea because some people think it's anti-consumer, they're not going to bring it to the Xbox One. I don't know what you or I don't or Xbox One X, whatever. It doesn't fucking matter. What do you guys think about that?
Well, the reason they can't do that is because there's 50 million Xbox One users, and the odds of the Series X hitting like 10, 15, or 20 is real slim. So the money they've already spent on Halo Infinite, the only way they can recoup it is by releasing it on as many platforms as they can.
Yeah.
If they cancel the Xbox One version, then the odds of the Series X version selling even 1 million, even with Game Pass, drastically reduced. You know what I mean? And they
Yeah.
wanted to get it on as many people's hands as for the quality of the game. I think it's the right thing to not only delay it but cancel the Xbox One version. From a business standpoint, I see why they're fucked. They should have held
But
343 to a higher standard these past 5 years, not now. Like the egg is on their face. They screwed that up. Like
And the thing is too, like I've seen some people say things like, we blame COVID for this happening, but the thing is, the game has been in development for 5 years, and the thing is that it came out this way, and some people are questioning like, is it COVID or is it just an excuse? What exactly is it? Because the thing is that when you're 5 years into development and you're creating this game, what the fuck is going on exactly? Because
and here is my biggest issue is leadership. And
management,
I
management.
don't understand this. I'm not going to name any name from leadership because people would legit say I'm bashing Xbox. I don't understand how this could slip through them. Like, how can you be the leader of Xbox and not know what's going on in your own freaking studio? If you're that bad at your job, get out. If you can't and identify a good game from a bad game, a working game from a game that needed way more time in the oven and should have never been showcased the way it did, then get out and let somebody else do your job if you can't do it. Because let me say this, if this was PlayStation, there is no chance in hell. If this was Nintendo, no chance in hell they would have ever showcased their biggest title, their flagship title in such state, COVID or no COVID. If you can't know when to showcase a game and when not to showcase a game, then you have a problem. Leadership is a problem.
Hmm.
And if this is the road that you're going with, then Microsoft is already in problems before next gen even starts.
Okay, I could agree. I could agree with that, but you know
Do
what?
you
Before
think Microsoft is even going to bother to have another game showcase before the
What
launch
do
of
you mean?
Series X?
hold on. Black. Before I go, I want to get Justin's take on it, and then
Yeah, my bad.
no, that's all good. It's all good, bro. I'm just trying to give a fair chance to everybody. You know.
It's all good.
Go ahead, Justin. What's your take on it?
I think if it needs to be delayed to 2022, then delay it. I mean, a delayed game is always good than a rush game, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
But
I think they should also remove the S and the X from it.
I don't know about that. I think it'd be not only a bad business decision, but just a bad look. They already said
That's on them then. When you have
No, but,
the leadership say stuff like
no, but I get what Justin's trying to say. He's basically trying to say that it would be bad for the fans, like that don't have the Xbox Series X, and they wanted to play Halo on their Xbox One X or their Xbox One S and stuff like that. So
it's
they
not
could
You
be
know
that.
what's
They are like,
another problem with that? Go ahead, Justin. All good.
oh, it's just they said constantly and they promised, like I remember a quote that what was it, Matt Booty, that said like, if you invest in our platform now and next year we want to make sure you're able to play the game. So if they
that's on them. So then that's on them.
Oh, hold on, Omar. Just let him go.
Sorry about that. Continue.
I know it's on them, and that's why I don't think they should do it. I think that's why they should still push it out for Xbox One platforms, because it would be tremendously bad for
Yeah, and it has to come out because they didn't release any AAA first parties this year. They can't go 2 whole calendar years without one. That'd
It
be
would
insane.
It would just be really bad for the brand, their word, and their like he'd be contradicting himself, Phil Spencer, like badly if he did that.
I mean, he just really said that Held Back is an old meme or whatsoever, and
Why I
turned
don't
out to be wrong.
Which is why I
Again,
don't think he'll do
we're
it.
speculating, so it's a rumor, but still.
Oh yeah, it's a rumor. I still think it's coming out next year. Like I'm not behind the scenes, none of us are, so we don't know. But
Yeah, it has to come out next year.
yeah,
Not only that, but they've spent the majority of the development time optimizing the game for the Xbox One, the base one. So like
exactly.
if they had to turn up and scratch 60 to 70% of their work over 3 or 4 years, I mean that I don't think
Insane.
that would be insane. Thank you, Omar. Like you just wasted 4 years of my life. Like
That's
And
the
you know what, Flop, you said it perfectly, because that's the thing that I'm worried about. If they do actually scrap it,
They screwed themselves over no matter what. And
that's
again,
so much
it's
time
all
coding.
about
Like
leadership. They should have known better.
Yeah, but
I said it once and I will say it again. Xbox tried to be quote unquote pro consumers. By being pro consumers, they actually became the biggest anti consumers out there. They're literally launching an next gen console
hold
without
on,
even
hold on.
first party.
Well, it's not bash on.
I don't.
I'm not bashing, I'm not literally calling it how it is.
Like, I don't know if I'd call that anti-consumer.
No.
If you're an Xbox fan and you invested your money in Xbox next gen, would you not want a next gen game?
I mean, of course I'd want it.
Yeah, that's why I said anti-consumer
But if
because they gave up that freedom, that possibility to give you a next gen game for the sake of pleasing everybody.
I don't
That's
think
what
it's
I mean.
I don't think it's anti-consumer because it's not intentional. They're just not as good as we thought they were, or as good as they used to be, like during the 360 era. There's different management over there, and the goals have shifted. You know what I mean? So it's like they're not sucking on purpose. I'm pretty sure they're trying really hard.
No, yeah, and you know what? You make a good point. Like, obviously, I'm pretty sure they are really trying, but they're trying to market things in a different way. But anyways, let's end the podcast real quick, and then I'm gonna have another one next Sunday or probably sometime this week. I don't know if you want to join Guap, Justin, or Karaba. Try my best to do it. But anyways, I just want to end the show and say this is Gaming Despair. You can find me on Twitter at Gaming Despair. Let's see, special guest Squabzilla.
What's up? Thanks for having me.
Where can we follow you?
Oh, well, you know me. I'm on Twitter at Dirty Does It. Actually, that's DURRTYDOESIT. My handle on there is actually Guapzilla, but I'm easy to find, man. You see me in these gaming streets lighting shit on fire.
All right, my dude. Another special guest, Justin, man. Where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Justin_C98.
C98. Justin_C98, right?
Yep.
All right, yeah. All right, and my dude, Karaba. Where can we find you, man?
You can find me at Twitter @Karaba_job.
Oh, all right. All right, for sure, man. All right, man, dude. Nice talking to you guys. I had a fun conversation, honestly.
It was a blast, fellas. Have a good night.
Yeah, I gotta
Take care.
I gotta do this earlier because a lot of my friends are from across the pond and stuff like that. So most of them are asleep right now. So yeah, we'll get it up. Oh, and Jared, thank you for being there, man. Nice talking to you, man. Peace.
Hell yeah, Jared. Have a good night, man. Shout out. Peace out, fellas.
All right, Justin, Karaba, Guap. Talk to you guys later, man. Peace.
Later.
Peace out, man.